Burju Sari talks about the initial diagnosis on my CVI story.
I arrived at the NICU that day, and the nurse told me that the neurology team wanted to talk with me about Ömer. I had a bad feeling, so I asked them to wait until my husband comes from work. After my husband came, the neurology team arrived immediately, which is not usual. To be honest, it was very blurry after they started talking. That's the only day I can't remember clearly. But I heard the term brain injury and everything kind of like stopped. Doctor and the team was talking, but I couldn't hear anything. I started asking them very nonsense, silly questions like, is it gonna get any better? Or is there a surgery that can fix his brain? Can you please help him? Kind of questions. And I know they were kind of shocked about my question. They were not expecting my questions. The only thing I remember clearly is how insensitive he was. The neurologist smiled at me and said that it will never get any better or worse. After my endless nonsense questions, he started explaining to us what it will look like in future. A couple of quotes that I remember from that conversation are, he said that it's like a scar that will stay there forever. And then Ömer will probably be in a wheelchair. And then he also said that his brain injury type is cystic TVL, which means it's all over his brain and it's very significant, but it will most likely affect his legs more than other parts. He will most likely be severely cognitively impaired and nonverbal. And then at the end, he asked us if we are ready to talk about future more in detail. We were not ready for the future. Immediately, my husband and I agreed that it was okay. He can be in a wheelchair and play basketball or any other sports in his wheelchair, or he can get married with someone who is in a wheelchair as long as he's healthy. Another important thing I remember for sure is they never talked about CVI, which is very common with this type of brain injury and prematurity. I left the room. I left my babies and my husband in NICU, and I ran away to find the closest exit. I needed to cry, screaming. I needed to exit that moment to process what was going on. Still today, when I go to the movies, when they say, please locate the closest exit, I go back to that day. Yes, it is a scar that will stay there forever, just like the neurologist said that day. But guess what? I'm stronger and getting stronger each day as I'm looking at that scar. And I still run away to be alone when I need to, as everyone else in this call, but I come back stronger.
Text on screen. CVI Now, Perkins School for the Blind. Go to cvinow.org to learn more.